I'm just going to tell you, today is just got something crappy going on. We didn't even get to hear from Bill O'Reilly because this something is just going shitty with the system. You know what? One of those days, it's a Thursday, and we didn't even get to hear from Bill O'Reilly to start the show. There he is.
We'll do it live.
God. Come
on.
We'll
do it live.
Where are you?
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, well, we were trying to do it live. All right, welcome in. It's Thursday, September 26th. It is the daily puck drop as we eventually get started. That was just kind of a craptastic way to start the show. We appreciate you watching, whether it's on YouTube or on Twitter, and also on the PuckSports mobile app. Download it today if you have not downloaded the PuckSports mobile app. It's up there for iPhone users on the App Store right now. And for you Android people, it's coming soon. I promise our guy Jacob, he's on it. He's going to get it up and running here very, very soon for you all. So don't worry about it. It will be completed soon. And working on something right now, because I know one of the biggest complaints has been the you can listen to the app, right? But then once you go off of the app, you can't go browse other things. So it cuts you out. We're working on it. That should be fixed here shortly. So you'll be able to listen to the app and then be able to go and do other stuff in the background. All right. It's all a work in progress. All right. All of it. We're a small little company over here. Okay. Old Puck Sports and 2040 Media. We've got, we don't have an army of people working behind the scenes. So we'll get everything up and running and perfect in no time. All right, coming up on the show today, before we get to that, of course, we are broadcasting from the Limbeck Lumber Studios. Contractors talking to you. They've offered free deliveries from everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. They've got the largest stock moldings in the Northwest, old school service because they've been doing it since 1930. Give them a call, Limbeck Lumber, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbecklumber.com. Of course, you can follow the show on all the platforms. On Twitter, it's Puck2040. Instagram, it's Puck_sports. TikTok, the same as well. And, of course, you can find us on Facebook under Jason Puckett. All right, we've covered it all. We've set you all up. And, of course, we're on the YouTube channels, on post-show. Videos are up there as well, Apple, Spotify, and all that. If there were some issues yesterday trying to listen to the show after it was done on Spotify, there was Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan, if you're listening right now or listening back on your road trip to Colorado or actually to Utah for your son's baseball, shout out to you, Ryan. He alerted me last night, hey, something's wrong with Spotify. Damn it, Ryan, you were right. Something was wrong with Spotify. It's not showing up on the app, the newest episodes. It would show up when you go in the URL, just type it in like Spotify and went there, but in the actual app itself, it wasn't showing up. So thank you, Ryan. We fixed it, and I appreciate that. If there are any issues that y'all see, let me know, and we will try to fix it as best we can. All right. Enough of me just talking about that. Let's get to the show. What do we got today? Mike Garafolo will join us here in about 15 minutes. We'll get the very latest on all things NFL with Mikey G. What's the situation? I got to know what's going on with Abe Lucas, Ken Walker, Jason Peters. He's like 98 years old. They've brought Jason Peters back. Well, they haven't brought him back. They brought him in at least for a workout. So I have been concerned a long time with Abe Lucas, just a long, long time. Last year when I think it was Pete Carroll when he said it could be, or somebody said it could be chronic. Yeah, and I know he's got all these workout videos and he's lifting. He looks like he's doing okay, but I don't know. Just feels like they keep pushing him back. Like it's just like he's got, oh no, he's going to be ready by training camp. No, he's going to be ready by this day. He's going to be ready by the first game, the second game, the third game, fourth game, fifth game. And you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And so, I don't know. I got a bad feeling about Abe Lucas. I don't know if it's career ending for Abe, and that's something I want to talk to Garafolo about. I remember we did the draft night show with Garafolo. He was talking to Abe Lucas's agent as we're doing the show. He's inside the NFL Network studios, and the agent's like, "No, it's all good. We're fine. Nothing's gonna be wrong. Nothing's wrong with him. He'll be fine. He'll be ready there for the start of camp, and everything will be fine." Well, it just keeps dragging on and dragging on and dragging on. Now you got the whole Fant thing, and now you're stuck with 42-year-old Jason Peters apparently maybe being an option for you. So we'll talk to Garafolo about that coming up at 10:20. Brad Adam and his beautiful hair. Apparently he's not playing golf today, which is amazing. Brad Adam is going to stop on by around 10:45, and we'll get the very latest on the Mariners with Brad Adam, and in trying to piece together what the hell they're going to do moving forward. And right now, you've got two games that are going to take place today. The Tigers and Royals are going to play this morning, and around 10:10. By the time we sign off here, well, not quite, like 1 o'clock, when post-production is over, we're going to know. We got a good chance. We will know if the Mariners are done, because if either of those teams win, well, one of them's in. You'll eliminate the Mariners. I mean, if either of those teams win, if they win one game, each win it, it's still over. So they've got no wiggle room. They need those teams to not win anymore, and they need to win out. That's as simple as it is. And I just wonder what attendance is going to be like. And I said that earlier on Twitter, and a lot of people said, "Hey, tickets have already been sold." So there's going to be a ton of people there. Tomorrow night's fan appreciation night. That's going to be a hell of a thing. And I know Jim talked about that yesterday on the show. If they do get eliminated today, if both the Royals and the Tigers win, and they've got the pitching advantage in both games, if they win today and they go into tomorrow's game, having been eliminated 3 games against the Oakland Athletics, who are no longer going to be called the Oakland Athletics, are just going to be the Athletics. Yeah. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to show up tomorrow, because that's just what people do, and they've bought tickets and they've made plans, and I get that. And it's fireworks night, so your kids are probably excited about it. I don't know what the weather is going to be like, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. It's baseball, and I get it. It's fun to go. But man, oh man, fan appreciation night, the first game after being eliminated from a season in which you were supposed to win the division. And there was everything, all the advantages were given to you to win the division. And you couldn't get it done. God, that is just, it has been a massively frustrating season, I think, for a lot of sports fans. A lot of sports fans. Thank God for the Seahawks, and they're off to a 3-0 start. And Mike McDonald looks like he's the second coming of, a great head coach and all that. But God, the Mariners, we all love you. And there's a lot of people, sickos like me, that are going to continue to watch and listen and go to games and put money in your pockets. And we're you could say we're the problem, because we probably are the problem. But we can't stop, because we love baseball. And I love the players. And I just like watching, I watch your team try to win. But man, you talk about, again, an epic collapse of a baseball team if they somehow cannot get a miracle and get in, because that's what it's going to take, right? We all know that it's going to take a miracle for these guys to get in. And if they don't, and they fall short, which it's looking like they're going to fall short. I mean, it ranks, I've said it, a week ago, well, more than a week ago, a month ago. It's, I think, the biggest collapse in Seattle sports history. I don't even think it's close. And I'll clarify again, it's not the biggest choke job, because the biggest choke job ever is the Sonics in 94. That's the biggest choke job. Collapse is something that it takes a while to fall. And it's a collapse. They had a 10-game lead. 10-game lead that their deficit ballooned all the way to 6 games, and then had to sit there and watch them the other night celebrate in front of them. And, this week when I talked to Divish yesterday, I'll go back and watch it. Great chat with Ryan, as always. Drinking Crown Royal at 10 o'clock in the morning, although we did it the night before. All right, so he wasn't drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning. Although we should just promote that he was drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning. They, I asked them the question, 2 years ago, they were on the cusp of pushing that team, to the brink. Could have won all of those games in that series. They did not. And you walk off that field and you thought to yourself, couple of moves, and that team's right in it, and they're going to be a squad that is going to win the division and be a World Series contender. And then 2 years, not even 2 years later, they're an afterthought, an absolute afterthought again. So it is. I didn't think they could be much worse. Having spent my whole life watching them, I didn't think like all the real crappy seasons. I never thought it could top the Richie Sexton years, Jeremy Reed and those teams. But this year, that sure did. It really did. And then they'll tease you a little bit because of how they've played here in the last month plus, which clearly they have played much better baseball. And I think ultimately they'll be proven right to make a move, in which they did. Whether it's the move that Dan Wilson, he was the one that changed it all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think it's that. I think maybe players just finally woke up and kind of got in their heads they need to start playing better. But God, we're going to have a lot to talk about in the offseason, just where they're going to go. Will they have a press conference? Let me think about that. They have yet to officially announce that Jerry Dipoto is coming back. Haven't even announced it. No public comment after Ryan Divish and Adam Jude broke the story. Nothing. Are they going to hold a press conference at the end of the year? Is Dipoto going to be up there? Is Hollander going to be up there? Is John Stanton going to be up there and actually address things? I don't know. But we'll see. Again, those games today. What time does the game start here for Oakland? The Detroit, the Tigers will host the Rays at 10:10. The Royals are taking on Washington at 10:05. So around 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock today, 3 hours from now, Mariners could be eliminated from the playoffs. Before we talk to Mike Garafolo coming up here in about 7 minutes or so here on the Daily Puck Drop, Pac-12, optics do not look good. As I have it in the rundown, they screwed up. Pac-12 screw up. The optics do not look good for this conference. They do not look good for Teresa Gould. The back and forth dance and flirtation here with UNLV. Whoever thought UNLV in the last 48 hours would be the hottest topic in college football? One with the quarterback quitting or not getting the money from the NIL, but still quit. Then you got the USC guy doing the same thing yesterday. And then the whole, they're deciding the fate of two conferences with their decision, right? Because it really just came down to UNLV. It's not really Air Force. And that they decided late last night, it came out. And again, no one breaks the story, by the way. It's a press release. It's a press release that is literally shipped out to all of these reporters. Because just go, if you follow the college football timeline, just follow it. The Brett McMurphy, and then Nicole Auerbach, and then it's Ross Dellinger, and then it's Danny Staples, and it's there's the other guy, athletic, Stuart Mandel. I mean, it's like within 30 seconds of each other. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, they get a press release. Hey, this is what's happening. You can report it now. So now, last time I checked, nothing has been signed yet. There is nothing official of it because they had to sign it today, or they have to sign it today, where they are committed to the Mountain West. Now, they had agreed last night, at least the report was they agreed last night to stay in the Mountain West. That UNLV and Air Force have committed to remain in the conference. And then, as like Dellinger reported 3 hours ago, all 7 schools expected to sign a binding agreement Thursday with sizable signing bonuses. Okay. Nothing's been signed. That was 3 hours ago. Remember, we went through this with the Pac-12. I mean, it's the same story. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen here. I'm just saying it's the same story. Remember the Pac-12, that story? The night before everything went to hell, the night before was, they've got a deal. They've got a deal. Everyone's on board. They're going to accept the Apple deal. Moving forward, they're all going to sign, their agreements just like this. And then the Pac-12 is going to survive, and they'll rebuild it and rebrand it, and not rebrand it, but rebuild it around Washington and Oregon. And then we wake up at 7 a.m, and they're going into a meeting, by the way, to sign it, and then all hell breaks loose. Anne-Marie Casse tells Kirk Schultz, there's like 10, 15 minutes before the meeting, hey, we're out. We're leaving. Just wanted to let you know. And then it was over. So I don't know. I mean, I would put money that doesn't happen today, that I think Air Force and UNLV probably end up staying. But you have got to at least acknowledge that there's a chance that something real crazy happens, because this is college football. And this whole story has been crazy. It just in and out, because 48 hours ago UNLV had committed. Oh, we're in, and then it was 2 hours later. No, they're reevaluating themselves. So I don't care what the reports were last night until the report comes out by one of these people, Dellinger, McMurphy, Canzano, Wilner, whoever, and says, all right, it's over now. They've signed. Okay, then you can move on. But again, nothing has been signed as of yet. I know a lot of Cougar fans and Beaver fans are all up in arms about this. I'll just speak for Cougar fans that everyone's losing their mind. Oh, we screwed it up again. We're incompetent. I do think there's a level of incompetence, I think, with the Pac-12 leadership. I think they are wearing the scars. Teresa Gould is wearing the scars of a previous, commissioners with Larry Scott, with George Kliavkov and those guys. Did she screw up here? Yeah. I mean, you better make sure once you extend an offer to someone, they're going to say yes. But I would say this before people jump off the bridge and do a total freak out. They got the 4 best brands from that conference. 4 best: Fresno, Boise, Colorado State, and San Diego State. And then they eventually add Utah State. But they got the 4 best ones. So, and then you look at what the Mountain West did. The Mountain West is going to pay UNLV and Air Force $30 million to stay. It's UNLV and Air Force. And if the Pac-12, now you could say they made an error here. If they really did want UNLV from the get-go, then they should have just offered UNLV, right away. But something tells me that, I don't know, maybe they didn't really want UNLV. And maybe they did want Memphis, and then Memphis said, no, we're good. And then they had to go crawl back to UNLV. Yeah. And if that kind of is a likely scenario, then yeah, they did screw up, but maybe they didn't want UNLV from the get-go. I mean, they clearly didn't. What do they value UNLV and Air Force as? They clearly value those 2 schools less than Utah State. They've got a year plus to figure out an 8th member. I think they're going to be fine finding an 8th member, because I just think that college football is going to change dramatically, and it always does. And there's just lots of moving parts in this new college football world. It's crazy. I think the money that they would potentially have had to spend maybe on UNLV and Air Force once they get another football member, they have got to do everything in their power. Does Teresa Gould, everything in her power, and this conference to get Gonzaga to join for basketball. Everything. Because if they can get Gonzaga to jump on for hoops, that's just a game changer. I mean, for a school, a non-football school, the most desirable team right now is Gonzaga. And if you can add the Zags to that list of teams, that's a damn good basketball conference. I mean, I know it's not, the money is not there as much as the money is there, obviously, for football. But man, I'm going to tell you, you get them, you're doing quite well. We'll have more on that story, I think, throughout. Again, Brad Adams going to join us coming up a little bit later. We'll talk a little baseball in just a quick second, or about 30 minutes from now. We'll get Mike Garafolo on here in a second. Garafolo will talk all things NFL with us, and we'll get the very latest on the situation with Ken Walker, maybe Abe Lucas. Again, The Abe Lucas one scares me a little bit. I think it scares a lot of Seahawks fans. Just when you hear knee issues and chronic knee issues, Ken Walker, Christian McCaffrey, all of that. Let's get an update from Mikey G and Mike Garafolo. Oh,
what's up?
Getting a little bit of an echo from you.
How about now?
Yeah. Just an echo problem, sir.
Hold on. Echo cancellation. How about that?
Try the echo cancellation.
This can't be changed while recording. Well,
you want me to log out? You can come back in?
You try that.
Okay. Well, we'll close there for a mic so we can fix the echo situation there with Mike, who will join back on here in just a quick second. Not sure what's going on there with the echo, but we'll figure it out. We'll get the very latest there with Mike on all things NFL. Got to talk about the Jason Peters situation. George Fant, obviously he's not available because he's on the injured reserve. Abe Lucas, there's been some thought. I think it was Brady Henderson had talked about maybe a thought where Brady Henderson had said that maybe mid-season there for Abe Lucas.
Hello.
How are
now
you?
Batting. Number 4. Any echo?
No echo, but it's just whatever microphone you got, it sounds pretty hot. But no, it sounds better. There's no echo, so I'm glad.
I can lower it. Hold on.
It's okay. Well,
Hello.
Yeah, you're good.
How about down here? Any better?
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Hey, we'll workshop it. It's okay. It's live. It's live media. We're good. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
That sounds.
Huh?
That sounds good. You're good right there.
I'm good. I'm better.
Yeah, you're better.
I'm great.
What do you? Hey, can I ask? Let's just jump right into it. Mike Garafolo, who joins us every single week as we talk all things NFL. It's brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, and catch the game, and enjoy the Northwest outside for a little bit longer. Zogs on Fox Island. Can you give me the latest on Abe Lucas?
The latest I gave you was when he's eligible to come back, which is after week 4, right? The hope was that he was going to return somewhere around there. So we are in week 4 right now. So as of now, we're looking at potentially next week. Oh, I know why this is hot. That's probably turned up. How about now? Any better?
Yeah, a little bit better. Yeah, you're good.
How about now?
Perfect.
There it is. We did it.
We're just workshopping here, folks.
The gain was turned up.
Oh, God, I love a good gain. I've gained a lot. You know what I mean? What? If you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of?
Oh, that's great.
Right? Should you do? I mean, you have to have self-deprecation. You have to be self-deprecating. Yes. You have to be. Or if you can't make fun of yourself, Mike, then you can't make fun of others. And I like to make fun of others.
You do like to make fun of others. That's great, though. You say it. Yeah, you say it with love.
Yeah, I do say it with love. But hey, but they just with Abe Lucas, it just feels like we keep pushing the timeline on this guy. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about him.
What do you think? He's never going to play again?
Yeah.
No. He's coming back. He's coming back. I haven't asked since the last time you made me ask. So,
can you ask again, please?
I can. I'm just saying, a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. Haven't checked on Abe Lucas because I knew he couldn't come back before today anyway.
Are you trying to tell me the national NFL reporter has got the
No. You're gonna make it seem like I don't care about Abe Lucas, and that's not the case at all.
I know you care about him. Did you care enough about Ken Walker to tell me he's going to play on Monday?
I don't know that he is. It sounds like he's so he's missed 2 games, right?
Yeah.
So this would be number 3. They didn't put him on IR, which means they expected him back within the 4 weeks, which if he missed one more game and came back for the next, would still be within the 4 weeks. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like he was working yesterday. It's like an extra practice because they're playing on Monday night. Oh, so they don't start the injury report dance until today. Sounds like he's got some work to do still.
It's an abdominal. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
It's an oblique.
Or oblique. Can we figure this out?
What did you do for your obliques today?
Jesus.
Little side squats?
No. Hey, do you remember?
Plank?
No, but do you remember I think it came out the same time like Suzanne Summers did the Thigh Master. Do you remember the thing they had for sit-ups? It had this bar, and you lay down on the bar.
We were just talking about this the other day.
And then you rolled up and down.
Yeah, the ab roller.
The ab roller.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one. It makes you wonder, like, where are these things right now? Like, are they in landfills somewhere just taking up space? I always think about that sometimes.
Probably.
Like all these cups that you bought that were like fully insulated, and like the next thing, like the Stanley Cup came out, and it was like goodbye to the Tervis tumbler. Like, how many Tervis tumblers are in landfills these days? Makes me think about that stuff.
Yeah, well, those big Stanley Cups will be, because then they have they had something wrong with them, right?
There was I don't know. There was an Instagram video that was great. It was like, a guy, and he was playing the different roles, and he's like, here are all the previous cups that were like the greatest cup ever, that she's like, no, she doesn't use it. And the Stanley Cup shows up. He's like, oh man, she's going to use, I keep things cold. And the one mug's like, yeah, okay. He goes, well, I keep things hot too. And the other mug's like, yeah, okay. But I got amazing colors. And yeah, all right, sure. I'm in the back of the cabinet right there. It was a great video.
We got sidetracked. We went right Ken Walker to Stanley mugs. I love it.
Yeah.
This is how this show goes. All right, so oblique. Yeah, I don't know where my obliques are. I don't think I have obliques. I hope he comes back. I guess this one of these things could linger, because this is the issue I think he had last year, and now he's missed a couple games. And you just see what they, they're not as effective team without him there. But Zach Charbonnet, I thought, looked good last week. So
yeah, and Leonard Williams got a rib too. I don't know if you're going to see him this week.
I think he's got multiple ribs. Yes.
I don't think you're going to see Leonard Williams. Byron Murphy too. You're not going to see Byron Murphy, I don't think.
So you don't think, or
I don't think. That's my guess. It's a hamstring, and sounds like he could miss at least a game. We'll see.
Yeah, that's not good. He's
playing well.
He was playing really good.
Yeah,
and a big guy with a hammy, those things linger.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of those guys. Sometimes they'll rip that thing off the bone. They're done for the year. Some of the bigger guys, because whatever the force, and I don't know the science of it, but it's a tough injury for a guy inside like that.
That doesn't sound good. Hey, let's go around the NFL real quick. The 0-3 teams that are in trouble. Is there like an obvious one of the 0-3 teams, like the Titans more so than like the Bengals would be in trouble?
I didn't have high expectations for the Titans coming in, so I wouldn't put them in the in trouble category. I'd put them in the right where we expected them to be category. The Bengals are, here's why I would say the Bengals are in trouble, is because New England week 1, Washington week 3, Carolina week 4. They've already lost 2 of those games. Those are like check. Like, oh, they'll be 3-1 after 4 weeks. And now the Carolina game certainly looks a lot tougher after Andy Dalton went in and showed Bryce Young, like, this is how you do it. This is how things are supposed to be going here. So, I said this last week. If they lose this game, I still think they've got the makings of a team that can put it together and get on a roll. They were banged up at the defensive tackle spot the other night. That really hurt them. Mm-hmm. They may have some work to do to kind of fill in some spots and get some better depth in places, particularly in the secondary. I think they gotta get better there. But they're red alert for the Bengals.
Yeah, it's but this is what happens, right? You got a quarterback coming off an injury. You got wide receivers not doing anything in the offseason. It just kind of felt like going into the year, like all of this was like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but we almost looked at it like an extended preseason for these guys, because, and then when they lose that game to New England, it's like, and the fact that New England hasn't looked nearly as good since then. I mean, they played the Seahawks tough week too, but they were just taken apart by the Jets the last week. The fact that they haven't looked as good, it's like, how bad was that loss? So, it's. I thought Jamar Chase would just get on the field and click, and he's played well. He played well the other night. They just couldn't make a stop on Washington, which I thought came out and did a great job of putting Jaden Daniels in a position to succeed.
There is no one is really. He's at least the one quarterback, the rookie, that has separated himself so far.
He has, yes. And I thought he was getting, everybody was lumping him in with the rest of the rookie class. I thought he played okay the first 2 weeks. Yeah. Even in Tampa, the game that they lost badly. Their thing was they just couldn't punch it in the red zone. And then what did they do the other night? No problem finding the end zone. It's It's crazy how this is such a week to week. You hear that from players all the time. This is a week to week league. It absolutely is. It's crazy how you can see something kind of play out one week and then it just doesn't apply to the following week.
It's just amazing. You write guys off all the time. And I'm not saying no one has written Jaden Daniels off, but I mean, we're familiar with Jaden Daniels out here in Pac-12 country because he started his career at Arizona State. And I think you'd ask anyone that was a Pac-12 fan back then, like, what do you think of this guy? No one was ever really that impressed with him. And I remember when he transferred to LSU, people were like, really? Like, he's going to go play in the SEC? Oh, he'll be terrible.
Yeah.
And then he's just phenomenal. And he's looked good. And in a weird, I'm going to get there. I'm going to drive the car to this next subject about Malik Willis. Malik Willis, I think, has been, was given up on. He was a first round pick, was he not, of Tennessee, or a second round pick?
No, he was a third round pick. Third rounder.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, but he goes from Tennessee. They obviously move on from him. They get Will Levis. He goes to Green Bay, and people are like, well, it's just Malik Willis. I'm not saying he's going to be some great starter in the league, Mike, but I mean, he's looked great. He's looked great with these guys. I mean, he's got to be earning himself a second chance in this league to be a starter.
I think so, and especially because I mentioned this the other day to Matt Flynn's agent. I was like, with Matt Flynn, like the less you showed, the better. Because if it's all good and it's this little sample, then you leave more to the imagination. It's Steven Spielberg directing Jaws. Like the shark was not really that functional.
You never saw the shark.
So you didn't see much of the shark because it wouldn't have looked great, but it also created in the audience's mind, well, what are we not seeing? And that created more of the fear factor. So it's kind of like that.
Oh God.
What's that?
Look at you, Siskel.
I had a Brother Jerry's film not appreciation class, film theory in college.
Noir class?
Yeah, and I don't know if Jaws was one of the movies we watched, but we definitely discussed it. We had a movie each week, and you'd watch like your class. You'd go to class and you would watch a movie. It was amazing.
In college?
This was in college. It was amazing.
School?
LaSalle. And this is in the communications. It's a liberal arts school, so you had to take. First of all, you had to take outside of your major, religion and economics and all this stuff.
The craziest and easiest class that you've ever taken in college?
No, I had 4 years of Spanish in high school, but we were not in that department. Like our Spanish teacher would be like, he was also the assistant principal. So he would come to class and go, I've got things to do. Just study amongst yourselves and do it like 2 times a week. So our Spanish was not bueno. Okay. So I get to college and they put me in 201 and they're speaking Spanish to each other. I'm like, whoa, time out. Hold on. What's with the full sentences?
Yeah, let's slow it down.
So I
come in and say we're not going to do anything today.
So I go in and I'm like, I should be in 101. And she goes, well, yeah, but you had 4 years of. I said, yeah, but my 4 years were not the same as Juan's over there. So they put me in 101, and it was back to basic, like as if it was so easy. And I was like, this is the best decision I ever made because I wasn't going to need my Spanish the rest of my life. And then I married a Cuban woman.
There you go.
Go figure. I'm like, damn it, I wish I stayed in 201.
I had a great class at Washington State University called it was for sport. I don't know. I think I minored in, I think I did, minored in sport management. It was the history of baseball.
Yes, that's awesome.
A class about the history of baseball. All right. So Malik Willis. I've been thinking a lot about Malik Willis just because he's been playing well. And then I think of the Seahawks and I think of maybe what are they going to do in the future quarterback? And then I think of the relationship between John Schneider and the Green Bay Packers. What type, if he keeps playing well, what would a realistic be for Willis after the year?
He would be a Mike Glennon. Okay. Trying to think of a better example. I mean, listen, the upside is Geno, right? You come in, you think, okay, he's the bridge guy. You play well enough, you play yourself into a nice little contract, and then you start playing better. And that's like, oh, hey, maybe we'll get an extension off of this 3-year deal and a bigger number like you wanted before the season. So I think Geno is the anomaly. A lot of times these guys come in, whether it's Mitchell Trubisky or Glennon, who I mentioned, and I go back to Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn never even got the chance to be the
I was going to ask you when you were talking to the agent. You said Matt Flynn. You didn't misspeak. That the ex-Seahawk Matt Flynn.
Yeah. I was talking to him. I said, it's because we were talking about Malik Willis because he lives think he lives in Tennessee. And he was talking about, our guy down here and whatever, man, he looked terrible here, but he looks great there and blah, 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 and all this stuff. I said, well, he's like Matt Flynn, he goes, you give him a little small sample. And he told the story about how back then when Flynn was playing that game for the Packers, I guess he didn't have the Sunday ticket or whatever. So he went to a bar and had to ask for the game to be put on. And he's watching. He's like, okay, first touchdown, second touchdown, third time. Okay, take him out of the game, he's saying. Take him out of the game. And he said the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. And after every one, he's like, get him out of there. Because he can either break his leg or, do something wrong. So that was just a funny story to recount that one. And then he never wound up. Did he even start a game ever? He never did, right? Because
it was it was the famous Russell Wilson preseason game at Kansas City.
And Russ never missed a game, so Matt Flynn never started a game, right?
He was he had this incredible game in Kansas City, and then there's a play. I can't remember if it was the game before that or after it, but Flynn. I think they're playing the Broncos in the preseason, and Flynn is actually playing pretty well and throws a great deep pass to Terrell Owens, who was on the team, and Owens dropped it.
Yeah.
And everyone expected what would have happened had he caught that, because his numbers would have looked great. He actually would have had a great game. Does that change the decision by Carroll and all this stuff?
But
Russell had this amazing game.
It's not like Pete Carroll and John Schneider and everybody. It's not like they were just reading the box score the next day. I mean, they were there to watch the game. They saw what happened. So
yeah, everyone was excited. Everyone was excited in Seattle when they got him. Everybody. And I just remembered because you're like, oh my God, because everyone thought this is Matt Hasselbeck part 2. The same thing. Yeah. Guy's a backup quarterback at the Packers. You get him. He didn't have an opportunity because he has got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. And then, Hasselbeck is behind Favre. And then when they drafted Wilson, people are like, what are you doing? Like, why are you wasting a 3rd-round pick on a quarterback? You just got a quarterback. And, obviously,
my favorite part of the whole Russell Wilson thing is how many other teams wanted to let you know, well, we were going to draft him too. Meanwhile, you had at least 2 chances for each team to draft him, and you decided not to. Oh, we were going to take him, but they took him right there. Okay, well, you should have taken him sooner. Yeah.
Or my favorite on draft night is always, it's the guy we wanted all along.
Yeah. They never
got him at 24, but we would have taken him at 1.
It's like when the Giants took Eli Apple, and the 2 guys they like were Leonard Floyd and Jack Conklin, and one of the teams ahead of them called me the day of the draft and said. And I was not. Please don't act like this. It was already out there. Like everybody had already talked about the Giants want Jack Conklin or Leonard Floyd. And he called me. He says, "What are you hearing about the Giants?" Because I knew the team. And I go, Jack Conklin or Leonard Floyd. And then they were one of the teams that jumped up ahead of the Giants. And I sent him a text. I go, "Oh, okay, yeah, sniffing around just to see what the Giants were doing when you were back there at 16 or 17 or whatever it was." And then the Giants get Eli Apple, and it's like, "No, this is what." Yeah, okay, sure.
Here's the thing. Going back to, we would have taken him if he were there. Okay, it's a perfect segue to Josh Allen, right? With John Schneider and the Seahawks. God, if he was there, we would have grabbed Josh Allen. Josh Allen was our guy. Just like Patrick Mahomes.
I believe that.
Well, I want to believe it. It would have been great if they could have got Josh Allen. He's off to a fun start. 75% completion percentage. He got 7 touchdowns, 0 picks, and a QBR of 92.6. Man,
he'll make some boneheaded decisions from time to time.
No, of course.
But I don't understand how he gets such hatred. Like, I just don't understand.
I'm with you. I don't get the hate on him. I don't understand it.
That guy could be my quarterback any day of the week. Like and the way that he extended the play, rolled to his right, threw an absolute dart to was it Kincaid on that play? I think it was maybe Kincaid so. On the second touchdown that they had. He's a great dude. He's fun too. Yeah. Like, he makes it fun. He's a regular guy.
But why are some in the national media, and you know who we're talking about? It's the station that yells at everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
The ESPN morning. Why do they hate it? Why does everyone hate him so much?
I don't know. I think it's people magnify the mistakes and one mistake counts for 3 amazing plays, maybe. I don't know. That's always the math that I've sort of done in my head. But Mahomes does the same thing. Mahomes gives every single game. So someday I'm going to go back. I mean, we're getting more and more games. It's going to make it harder. But someday I want to go back and see how many games Patrick Mahomes did not give the team at least a chance to intercept the football. Because I'm pretty sure it is 100% of every game. Like, every single game, he puts up a ball and it's like, Either it was picked or it should have been picked. So I don't know why he gets away with it and Josh Allen doesn't. It could be the rings, could be the MVPs. I don't know.
I think it's all of that. Speaking of Kansas City, well, she finally did it. Taylor Swift, huh? She finally ruined the team.
What do you mean? I don't even know.
Just talking about Kelsey's bad start to the season. All these questions, and it's clear, Mike. You know this. It's clearly the Taylor Swift factor.
I mean, he was around and doing a lot of things. I don't know this offseason. I don't know if anything was different or not.
He's older. That's the problem.
He's old, right? That's the other thing. But I mean, listen. Sometimes when you're older, you got to lock in more, or do more, or do. I don't know. It could be a combination of things.
It did. The last time they were on national TV, it did stand out to me. And again, I'm a fat guy. I can do. He did look like he's got a little bit of an extra gut hanging out on him. He does.
The mustache isn't helping either.
Oh, we got a crying kid.
What?
This is my favorite part of the show. Which one is it?
It's Vivian.
Oh, what's Vivian upset about?
Like walking and looking like she's drunk.
Well, that would be, Mike. That'd be a real concern if I got a
hang on 1 second.
Protection agency here.
Let me smell your breath.
Hey, Vivian, what are you sipping on?
Viv, what's up?
You got a hot. Vivian's like,
no, you can't have my phone, dude. My phone is my livelihood. Okay, you cannot have my phone. You got to give me and Puck a couple more minutes, and then I'll come down. Viv, I'm dead serious.
Vivian like an old fashioned or what kind of cocktail? Like?
Oh, God, they're like little drunk people. They basically are.
I love all
like they get so emotional. All right,
but this is the best part. Is the first time that Vivian has made an appearance on the live show. We've had Vivian and Carmen plenty of times during the tape show. Just give her the phone. Let her have it. Tell her to text Pelissero and Rappaport that you have some breaking news.
She may text you. She may tweet something for all I know. Like, I can't believe we gotta go because I can't. This is. I'm breaking out into a sweat right now.
Okay, can I ask you one more question?
No. You can. I mean, you can ask me all the questions. We just got to move because this is making me nervous.
Justin Herbert. What do we know?
What was he listed as yesterday? I would know if I had my phone.
Well, I mean, he's been questionable, and I think they're going to rule him out with the ankle.
Yeah, but he seemed to indicate that he's going to play.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to try and take it up to the last second.
I'm skeptical. I am skeptical. I've been skeptical the whole week. It's the way they went into the game.
Yeah.
With all the quarterbacks active, instead of using the third quarterback, the emergency quarterback, which sounds great, but then once you put that guy in, the other two can't play. Showed you that they wanted the maximum flexibility. They knew going in what they were dealing with.
Right.
So if it's Taylor Heineke this week, I wouldn't be surprised. In part because, like, are you going to win that game? Are you going to win that game with a hobbled Justin Herbert? So
yeah, probably not. I mean, this a game that where you just lean. He's going to have to go back to his old Michigan days, Harbaugh, and just run it 500 times.
Okay, so Taylor Heineke can hand the ball off. He's also played. He's been a starter before. Like, I think at some point you got to go. You got to have a realistic conversation with yourself. Like, you know what? You need a fully healthy Justin Herbert to win this game. It sucks that he's not because he plays these guys well, and it would be entertaining and interesting. Hey. And then you got the bye week after that. So you give them 2 weeks to rest.
Why do the refs want to help out Kansas City and the league help out Kansas City by suspending Derwin James? Why do they want to do that, Mike?
Well, Derwin James made the mistake of having repeat violations. And we've seen – it feels like these were getting overturned or reduced or whatever, and now they're being upheld on appeal. James Thrash and Derek Brooks are the two guys. Brooks heard this one. He's a defensive guy. So
seems real penal though.
Well, but it's not like come out of nowhere. It's been like fine. And in those fine letters, you're basically being warned that the punishment's going to escalate. Okay. And we know that guys have been suspended before, but it's the fastest game on earth. And these guys are making split-second decisions.
That's the problem.
Yeah, split-second decisions.
And stronger, and you're asking them to move their head or move their shoulder and snap of a finger. I don't envy these guys at all playing defense. It's too hard.
It's very difficult, and I don't know. I think that's why it's the repeat penalty. It's like, okay, this can happen to anybody once or twice or three. Once you get to 4 or 5 times, like, dude, we got to do something to take you off the field because we've got to show that we've got the players' health and safety foremost in our minds.
Christian McCaffrey, it's never good news when you have to fly to Germany.
No.
To get looked at. Should Niner fans be worried that he may never see the field this season?
How special is the specialist if you got to go all the way to Germany to go see the specialist?
Real special.
Real special.
Yeah.
How worried? Yeah, I'd be worried. This is going to be
worried that he never sees the field this season.
It's probably a possibility. And probably a possibility. That doesn't make any sense. It's a possibility, I would say. Or maybe it's something where, they wait and it's down the stretch and he comes in and now he's there for the playoff run and into the playoff push. Could be something like that. But it doesn't sound like his return is imminent, coming off of injured reserve, which I think we got 2 more weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So, because he missed 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he'd be eligible after that. But it doesn't sound like he'd be ready to come off right after that. So, I think somebody actually drafted Jordan Mason in my league, which really pissed me off because, how could you have the foresight to do that? I mean, we knew he was hurt, but we expected him to be ready. Damn it! Good pick.
Yeah, that is good. God, is there any rhyme or reason to all the injuries in the league?
Everybody, Ian and I talked about this the other day. Ian Rappaport and I. We were like, everybody every year says, boy, so many more injuries. It's like there's always a lot of injuries, always a lot. And I don't think we've had a quarterback go down yet, right? We haven't had a starting quarterback go down I wouldn't count Russ. But usually by now you have a season-ending injury to a starting quarterback. Yeah. I know Jordan Love got hurt. I'm saying a season ender, catastrophic. I don't think we've had one. I could be wrong. A lot of times you get them in the preseason. Trent Green. Remember what happened after Trent Green? A lot of things.
Warner, of course.
Yes.
I guess I haven't seen that, but it does seem there's a rash of more of them this year for some reason.
Because proximity bias. That's it.
Really?
I'll dig them up from last year and show you how many injuries there were.
Yeah. You know what? You're probably 100% right. It just feels like, God, every time you turn around, it's like.
Do you want me to say it's because a lot of coaches didn't play their guys in the preseason?
No, I don't. No, don't want you to say that. I'm just curious. It's just weird. And maybe because there's a lot of these injuries that are happening in the conference or in the division of the Seahawks. And it's just that, you look at the Rams, Cardinals are dealing with it. Now the Niners are dealing with it. It just seems like a bunch of injuries have happened this season. So, I want you actually to say, please, it's because they didn't play anybody in the preseason. Can you just do that for me? I
think I said it so you can clip it and just edit it back in there if you wanted to. Cause I think, we're live now. We're live. Never mind. Sorry.
I can edit it out later once we put it up. Yeah, for sure. How is everything? Is she doing okay?
She's quiet. That's not good.
Yeah.
You tell me. How's my Twitter account? Have I tweeted anything crazy?
Well, you did just say Aaron Rodgers is retiring again.
There's no way she put those words together. Yeah. It would be. She spells her name. She'll text my wife. She'll spell her name. She'll put emojis in there. The poop emoji always makes it. How come my girls are obsessed with poop? I thought that was a boy thing. Both of them all day long. Mr. Poop Pants. Okay.
Well, yeah.
You can call me Dad, though.
Yeah. All right. We'll cut you loose. You made it through, and nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. You tell her that we love her to death, and I'm glad that she made an appearance on the show. Okay?
You got it. That's exactly what I'll say to her in that tone, too.
See you, buddy.
Bye, pal.
There he is, Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. He joins us every single Thursday. Again, brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. Back to Hartley and Hartley Insurance. You know what, folks? Jamie Hartley, they have been family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. They offer honesty, fairness, and integrity. And Jamie, when he's not playing golf, can be reached at 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot for cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the game. Summer is now over. We're into the fall, but you can still enjoy your time outside in September and a little bit of October for sure. Zogs on Fox Island. Find their new hours on Facebook, and they're on Instagram for their new hours. We go from the NFL. We got to talk a little baseball now, a little Mariners. It could be over today. for the Mariners. It could be over today. And Brad Adam joins us right now. Brad Adam, brought to you by John Howie Steak. Entertain your next clients, family, and friends at John Howie Steak. Have the best dining experience in the city. Visit johnhowiesteak.com. What do you mean, no?
Why do you start with that? The negativity from the Limbach Lumber Studios.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It is, and we'll know soon. I haven't checked the scores yet. I know the games have started.
I will. Hold on. Let's get live.
That's what you're for. I love this live update.
Let's do a live update. I mean, it's not like I'm not doing enough stuff right now. Live update from our nation's capital.
Yes.
Bottom of the third inning. Nationals 1, Royals 4.
Oh,
bottom of the third inning.
You tricked me on that.
I sure did. Music City. No, it's not Music City. What's Detroit? That's Tennessee. That's Nashville. What's Detroit? Motown. Jesus God, I'm an idiot.
Motown.
Music City. What a moron. Tigers are trailing 2-0 to the Rays. So that's good. So hope's still alive a little bit. Okay.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
The Rays.
You know, I took
my attention right now. The Tigers are losing to the Rays 2-0.
Okay.
So that's good.
So they can, something to play for tomorrow night.
Something to play for tomorrow. Well, that's right, because we've got it's fan appreciation night tomorrow.
Well, the fireworks, you got, giveaways all weekend long, big crowds, seeing the A's for the final time.
Yeah.
Well, hey, how much would you pay, honestly, to be at that game today in Oakland? The last game of the Coliseum. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, it would. I mean, clearly, it's going to mean more if I was an A's fan, but
true.
Yeah,
just to see that, steal some seats like the fans are doing. I mean, they're having a great time.
It was awesome. Did I see a guy brought in like a metal cutter or something, ripping the seats out
to get the seats out? Yeah, and security was chasing him in the parking lot. With seats, yeah. I mean, guys are getting dirt, grass. They're just getting everything they can from the Coliseum. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, I've watched a bunch of videos that have been coming out from A's fans, and it's just it's a sad state of affairs what has happened down there, right? And we went through it obviously with the whole thing with the Sonics, and it's just it sucks. I grew up watching that team a lot. That was when I was a kid. That was the coolest team in baseball.
Oh yeah, the uniforms.
Oh, the uniforms, the best in
Bash Brothers. Yeah, they were. 3 straight World Series there in the end of the 80s and 90s. They were the team, man.
Yeah. Just sucks, man.
Now it's bad.
Just sucks. We had Krueger on Tuesday, and just hearing Krueger talk about it.
And he played there. Yeah, he
5 years, the first 5 years of his career there.
See, Mariner fans, it could be worse.
Well, I mean, they've won the division 4 times in the last 20 plus years.
No, I don't worry about winning. At least we have a team. How about that? We're not going to Sacramento,
Well, if we could shift to Sacramento, our team, I'd go for that.
Oh, Puck. I tell you, man, you think about this team, and it's like we always talked about this year, if they were just an average offense, they'd be good. And they've been better than average the last month, right? They've been top 5 across baseball in offense. So if we had this off with these guys, think about that. With just these guys, they'd be winning. They'd clinch the West by now. Yeah. So maybe I'm thinking differently now, Puck, because I'm an optimist. I'm thinking differently now. Here we go. You ready?
Don't get sucked in.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
You are the Kool-Aid.
We don't trade a pitcher this offseason. We just hope.
Oh, Brad is frozen up there. Is frozen up a little bit. Honest, I know.
Somehow convinced.
Yeah, you're freezing up there, Brad, a little bit. We have to get you reconnected, my friend. Because you know what? Here's the thing: is that ownership is starting to yell at you and say, "Hey, man,
there we go.
There we go. You gotta get a better internet connection, my friend."
I know.
What's going on there? Do you need? Hey,
I'm upstairs now because wife's working on a call. Yeah. I think I should go down there and just dominate her work call. Don't you think?
I would.
I got a sick daughter sleeping, trying to stay away from her. I'm sure she has COVID.
Oh, that's good. Is COVID still a thing, huh?
I think so. I don't know what you even do now. You send them to school? I think I just sent them to school.
this was a good reminder because your internet seems to be a little slow.
Yeah.
Right?
A little bit. Xfinity not doing me any favors today.
Is it not?
Do you have a solution? Do you have something for me?
What's wrong with your internet there? What's Xfinity doing wrong for you?
I don't know. How do I know?
Huh?
How do I know? I'm not in the little cable. I don't know.
Get a new internet provider.
There you go.
Itch 'em. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you do with your girl that's got COVID? Yeah, send her to school. Just see how that. Yeah, we're gonna send her to school no matter what. Here you go.
Tell you, if it was game day today, she's playing volleyball. If it's game day, I'd send her so she could play.
Yeah.
But they played last night, so she can take today off. She's staying home today, and then I guess send them tomorrow. I don't know what you do. There's no guidelines anymore, right?
There are no guidelines, but
Okay.
you know what I'm going to tell you right now? It's a public service announcement. Ready?
Oh,
3, 2, 1. Ditch your Xfinity cable and internet.
For what? For what?
Quantum fiber home internet.
The
The fastest internet service around. Quantum fiber does not pay me, but I would like them to pay me at some point. So quantum fiber, high speed, fast internet, free.
Maybe they'll pay me as well.
They could pay you.
Yeah.
They could.
I'm saying, hey, run it back with this offense, and they'll win the West next year. Keep the pitchers. Don't trade. The offense is good enough, Puck. Look what they've done. They're good enough.
I agree with you. It's something that the human pony keg, when he was sipping his whiskey the other day,
drinking at 10 in the morning. No, I know that was taped. That was fun though.
It was taped. Yeah,
that was fun.
But at least I told everybody it was taped. It's not like old school radio where we still try to lie to people
that it's live. Yeah.
But
did he say the same thing? Don't trade a pitcher.
Yeah, he's like, hey, man, I just got done. Because he was like all of us. Hey, they're going to have to trade somebody in the offseason to get a bat. And he said after watching Miller throw, he's like, can't do it.
Right.
Can't trade one of these young guys. I think we both agreed if you're going to trade one, you trade Castillo and maybe get something in return.
Yeah, that'd be the one, right? And trying to run it back with most of these guys on offense. Obviously, you're going to add. You're going to get a couple of guys, unless you're going to expand the payroll, which they haven't been able to do that in the recent years. So I don't know if they'll be able to pick up everybody's option. I don't know if they want to. But if you could just get this production, whoever.
See, this is why he needs quantum fiber. Oh, man. Hey,
You can't expect this all season long, but, quantum, they're coming.
Quantum's coming to you.
Quantum's coming to me.
Quantum.
Can they come over?
Hey, Quantum,
how fast can they get here?
Live now and get over there as fast as you can. Yeah, you kind of broke up. I think if they trade Castillo, they can get obviously out of the money. So can they reinvest it back into the team? Okay, yes, I would have. They would. He's got to waive his no trade clause. I do think if you trade him to someone like the Dodgers or the Yankees, I'll just pair it with Divish said. I think that you will get a pretty good prospect back as well for him. But yeah, Miller untouchable, Woo's untouchable, Gilbert and Kirby untouchable to me. It's just they're just too good to sit there and move on and watch them be great in another uniform.
And they're great together, and they're great with Cal. And you just watch them pitch in a series, and you appreciate them so much more. Now, granted, Houston, didn't try the last game. They were all hungover, and they had no Alvarez for the entire series. But that pitching staff, just completely shuts down Houston now. The last 2 years, they have just figured out how to pitch to them. Houston wants no part of the Mariners. I know they beat them in the postseason last year, but like you said, every game close, one run. Yeah. Without the Robbie Ray debacle, who knows what would have happened in that one. But nobody wants to face these guys. I think that's the smarter move now, right? Keep them together and just continue to throw them out there and just now get better around them. Add now. See what they can do. See how good you can be with this rotation. And then just, add a little here, there. Keep Edgar, keep Dan. They've changed things around. They've changed the kind of the culture, the feeling, the philosophy on hitting, which is kind of funny to me, Puck. It took them this long to figure out, put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Hit the ball up the middle, just
sacrifice fly.
Yeah, a bunt here and there. Like, have we ever seen that in baseball before?
The way the game's been played for 150 years.
Now, your little league team does that.
No, we don't do that, but okay.
Well, you preach fundamentals. It's funny to me to hear these guys talk now and say like, well, yeah, that's the way you were supposed to play baseball, but you weren't doing that the last 5 months. Okay. Hey, but it's working now, right? Everything's good. If they fall short, they've got something certainly to build on next year. Right. And
They do.
they keep that philosophy. It's just, it's somewhat funny to hear them talk. They all do it to a man too. It's funny.
I just, that's what I don't want to hear though. And I know I'm going to hear it. I just don't want to hear, God, look at you. We fell one game short.
Right. 2 years in a row. We're right there.
We fell one game short. We were working there. But we think that the moves we made here at the end and now having a whole off season with new leadership is going to put us in a great position for 25. And again, there probably is some truth to that, but I just don't, as a fan, want to hear it because it's just, to me, it's just an excuse again for them. And here's the other thing too. There's no guarantee that Edgar comes back. I don't. You right. Said it. Divish has said it. You both don't think he wants the job full time.
I don't, but I do think that there's a way to keep him around the team, certainly on homestands, and keep him involved. He's certainly whatever he's been telling and preaching these guys, it's worked. They seem to understand hitting better, and the results have been a lot better. But I think he'll help. I think what we saw in Texas with Dan Wilson calling Jay Buhner to talk to the team. He addressed the team before the first game and just be around, these guys and their attitude and their kind of the way they play and the way they did play. I think it's good to have these guys around. I think they'll continue to be around even more so, and
I'll bring them all back.
Bring them back.
What's McLemore doing? Can he be
He's working with Texas, darn it.
Okay, he's working with Tech. Where's Nelly? Can Nelly be the bullpen coach? Would ownership allow Nelly to come back?
I don't think so. But he's with the Yankees. He's doing and the Marlins. He's weird. He's splitting up the season, Marlins and Yankees doing their broadcasts.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that.
We'll get Moyer back. Moyer can be pitching.
Sure, let's get Moyer, old school pitching.
Brett Boone around. Boone still there.
Podcast. He can't do it.
Oh, that's right.
He's killing it on the podcast.
Yeah. We'll pass him. Don't worry.
Buddy, we're coming for you. We're gonna take your spot. I think that will be the if they do fail to get in, which again is just it's going to take a miracle. They've got to sweep Oakland, and then those other teams they got to lose. After the Tigers and Royals win one game, it's over.
Right, they got to lose out. All 4 of their games left. Yeah. Yes.
So that to me will be the biggest storyline. Will be what will this group do with those. Because they know that the most value that they could get back for a major league ready hitter or would be trading guys and fighting that temptation to do it. I want them to fight it. I don't want them to trade one of those guys. I'm with you, and I'm with Divish on that. I don't want to see it.
I've changed because before, there's no hope. It's so bleak for the offense. You're like, God, they need to get like 3 bats, right? Now you're thinking, well, if these guys can kind of keep producing, they can add because they're going to have to add a bat. They're not going to keep bringing everybody back. So they're going to have to add. And if you can get a little more production or this production, right? 4.5
from our nation's capital. Update from our nation's capital. The Nationals, thanks to a Garcia Jr. 3-run home run.
Oh, tied it.
We have tied it at 4. The Nationals and Royals are tied at 4.
What inning?
We are in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Okay, still batting. There we go.
Let's go Washington.
Come on. I don't want them both to win today. So you go to the park tomorrow and be like, we're out. As small as the hope is, you want to be able to play, and still say, hey, we're playing for something, Puck. We got fireworks tonight. We got the fans coming out. Let's play for something.
It's going to be a tough sell for fan appreciation night tomorrow if the people are walking into the platform. Oh, fan appreciation night. Yay, we're out of the playoffs again. That's a tough one. That's a tough sell.
I know. And we'll know. Let's see, those games.
No, they're over by 1.
No, yeah, today, but I'm saying tomorrow. They'll be over tomorrow by
Oh yeah,
like what, the third inning, third inning.
Tigers play. Well, the Tigers play
So
the
we'll
White Sox.
White Sox. I know.
That game starts at 3:40.
Yeah.
And
so right about first pitch or first inning, second inning. We'll
the Royals will be in Kansas City, or excuse me, the Royals will be in. Thank you. They are in Kansas City. The Royals will be in Atlanta taking on the Braves. 4:20. Smoke them if you
got the Braves.
Yeah, smoke them
if they can play without that hurricane. How about them playing a doubleheader on Monday? Like, that is brutal.
Oh, that's right, because the hurricane.
Brutal. Yeah. They'll have to play those games.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs start, I would guess, Wednesday, maybe the next day for them.
Yeah, so
brutal.
If for Fan Appreciation Day, you would, for their sake, if you're the organization, like, hey, can we just have hope tomorrow? The fireworks, like, what if they get eliminated? Like, but let's say they're eliminated today, and then like everyone has got tickets to the game and all that, but then people are like, you know what, F them and F the whole thing. I'm out. Not coming. No one's there. They do fireworks night, and no one is in the stadium. Like, do they do it anymore? Do they say, let's continue to do it? Maybe we shouldn't. What do we do?
I think they do it.
I
think they do it. No one. It's going to be a big crowd. It'll be a fun weekend, Puck. Lots of fun giveaways for the fans. You got the fireworks. And then Sunday, I love it too. After the game,
read off everybody real quick. Hurry up. Go ahead.
They get a basket of goodies, and they run around the field, and the players do. That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing on Sunday. They throw T-shirts and stuff into the stands. It's great. They high five the fans, take pictures, say, wait till next year, guys.
Hey, next year.
Hey, next year, guys.
You pass on a message.
Renew those season tickets.
Because you pass on a message to me to the higher ups who can make decisions on things.
Sure.
Can you it's just a small thing.
Give it to me. And
I actually was talking at our football practice the other day. Inter Bay Eagles. That's our chant. You gotta every time you say Inter Bay, you gotta yell Eagles. Okay?
Eagles.
Can we get them to open up the park sooner? So
2 hours not enough?
So kids can actually see the home team take batting practice. Well, they have got to be the only team that does this. Where if you are a kid in a city that you want the kids to grow up being Mariner fans, right?
Yes.
If you are a kid and you don't have season tickets, you're not a Diamond Club member, you can't get into the stadium earlier enough to go watch Julio take BP or watch whoever your favorite player is. And then you can't get autographs or any of that stuff. You can do it for the opposing team, but you can't do it for the home team. I think it's one of the dumbest decisions they've ever made.
Okay, now hold on.
Okay, give it to me. Tell me I'm wrong about something.
Now on the road, I have to think. I'm not sure if you're right. I don't know if that 2-hour rule is across baseball. I'm not sure.
Yes, 2 years ago when we went on our trip, when we were at Wrigley, that thing was open more than 2 hours, and we watched the Cubs take batting practice, and then we watched the Reds take batting practice.
Okay,
I watched it all.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong there, but what the Mariners have done to solve that problem is this year they're offering tickets. You can purchase tickets to come in early and be on the field for batting practice. I'm not sure I think it's like I'm not sure the amount, but you have to pay extra to get on the field to watch Mariners batting practice.
But so I've seen that, but it's only like 20 kids, like 20 people going to do
it. I can't remember, it's 50 or 100, maybe. I'm not sure what it is. But they allow you to pay to get on the field for batting practice. But I understand your point.
Are they going to make me pay next time I want to go use the bathroom? I'd like to use the bathroom, sir. Can I pay extra to go use the bathroom now?
Hey, we had a thanks for your suggestion. My dad and I had a great time at that Yankees game.
I told you.
He had never been to the Hall of Fame. He had no idea it was there. I don't Hall of Fame. I said, yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't think many fans know that Hall of Fame section behind basically home plate.
Home plate, yeah.
Where the cheap 12-ounce beers exists.
Which I saw, which was very nice. That bar was great. No line. It was great.
Never a line.
Thank you.
There's never a line. Did you go up against the wall and try to make the catch?
Of course.
Of course you did.
Of course. But that was good. And then we went up 300 level. It was a sunny day. It was great. We went up to the Triton deck. They had a private party. We crashed that.
Good.
Stole some Modelo's.
Hey,
And
hello, who
had
does?
a great time. Yeah,
You
had a
did.
great time. We heckled Angie and Val on the
Good.
set there. We had a good time.
So
Thanks for the suggestion.
You're going to go to games more as a fan now, I think.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And they won. It was great. I'm yelling at people, I'm eating peanuts, dropping shells everywhere. It's like nobody cares.
No one
I mean, it was.
cares.
We had a big hot dog, had a sausage. It was great, man.
What's at you? You're one of us. You're like
great.
Us Magazine,
Right?
You know, they're these celebrities. They're like us. They go shop for their own
I
clothes.
love that. I love that. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing
They
about
pump their own gas. No, they don't. No, they don't.
They walk their own dog.
No, they don't.
You don't say.
No, I don't. Hey, I heard you talking earlier about the offseason, though. Obviously, it's going to be huge. And will they have that press conference? That's going to be
What
interesting.
do you think? I hope they do. I think they deserve.
I don't know.
They deserve.
don't
I
know.
think the fans and the baseball
Right.
community deserves them to be up there.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. And then busy offseason. Even if they keep all the pitchers, we're now kind of leaning towards that. They still have a lot of holes to fix around the roster and offense. So it'll be an interesting, very active all season, I think, for Mariners.
And I don't think it's a
Right.
great free agent class.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look
I
it up.
mean,
I'm gonna do the
I think, but the problem though is, as we've seen, it's hard to get hitters here, and the hitters you do get are on kind of the backside of the careers. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
yeah, so it's trade is the way to kind of go, and if the good thing is the farm system is loaded and stocked, so you don't have to trade major league talent to get major league talent.
Mm.
You know, you could trade some prospects and bring in some bats and, you know, remake the team a little bit, but really get after it, because this is a year that, I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about it, right? The opportunities that they had, the 10-game lead, the West being terrible. This was one where they're going to look back and say, man, that was a golden opportunity for us, you know, and hopefully they don't let that, pass again.
It's the biggest. I've been watching it my whole life. It's the biggest gut punch season ever.
Yeah, I mean, that to lose that 10-game lead in record time and then fall 6 back, and then have some hope in the wild card, and it just didn't quite work out. You know, you needed to start sweeping series, not just winning series. I mean, it's great, you know, winning series. You're over 500 again. You know, you're in it till the last weekend, but it's just not enough. And you look back to Puckett, we talk a lot about the Angels and the Tigers, those series, and they were terrible, and they should have done better. But it's funny where, a series in June, you'll think, big deal. You know, you lose to the Nationals, big deal. You lose to the Marlins.
See, that's what I hate.
Like, big deal.
Baseball fans. And I am a baseball fan, but I hate baseball snob fan who then don't tell who get on people to not care about the games in the beginning of the season.
Right.
I just hate. It's not. It's not football. Well, everyone recognizes it's not football, but when you do lose a series in the beginning of the year to an inferior team,
Miami,
that stuff comes back to bite you.
Pittsburgh, yeah. And they don't have the tiebreakers over anybody. And you go even further. Red Sox, nope. Yankees, nope.
Yeah.
Cleveland, nope.
Yeah.
You know, anybody ahead of them, nope. So you're right. I mean, even a random series in Minnesota in May matters.
They all count. That's
all
why they
count.
play them. That's why when the season starts, they don't go, hey, the first 2 months of the season, Manfred doesn't come out and go, we're not going to count these games.
Right. We're going to reset.
We're going to reset
0-0.
We're going to see how everyone plays, and then we're going to get to the All-Star break, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start seeding everyone, and then we're going to start the season. Yeah, they don't do that.
Yeah, it's hard but it is hard to be, I don't know, at the top of your game and really, function like you want to the whole 162 games. I mean, I do get that, but there is importance in winning series and beating teams under 500. I mean, that also is very important to do.
I was going to say, look at the free agents right now. Hey, you can bring Teoscar back.
There you go.
He's an unrestricted free agent. Juan Soto clearly will be the number one guy on the market.
That's going to be awesome.
And everything. Pete Alonso.
Yeah, need a first baseman. How about Gino? Is Gino up? I think he's up, right?
is Geno.
What a great second half for him.
He may. I'm looking. I don't know if he's an unrestricted free agent. Maybe I'll double check. I'm not sure. Josh Bell. I'm just looking at this list right now from Spotrac. Josh Bell, Alonzo, Alex Bregman.
Yeah, need a third baseman. But here's a question for you. If you had, let's say, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Let's just say $30 million. And I don't know anything about the budget. If you have $30 million, would you get, Pete Alonso, a one hitter, or would you try to spread it out like they have done and get, 3 or 4 hitters for $30 million?
I would get the big guy. I think spreading it around hasn't worked.
True.
Because what do you need to upgrade?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Where are you? Let's go through it. Okay, we're comfortable at catcher.
Yes.
Okay.
Sign him. Try to sign him every day.
So catcher. Okay, let's just do this. So catcher, we're good. First base, question mark. I mean,
yes.
What are you going to do?
I mean, if Justin Turner wants to come back, do you maybe?
He's 40 years old.
I know he's going to be 40, but he's still producing, and maybe you pair him with Rayleigh. I like Rayleigh's bat in the lineup. Okay, so
want okay. I'll give it to you. So you like a Turner Rayleigh combo?
Yeah, because then Turner can play some outfield too. Turner can DH. Rayleigh can play outfield. Excuse me.
Yeah,
let's just say that
Justin Turner in the outfield. What the hell? What the hell?
You be good. Yeah.
Turner out in center field.
Yeah, when Julio needs a day, you run Turner.
Hey, Turner, you come to my office. Yeah, what are you guys? We're playing in center field today.
I have not run in 5 years.
My knees are cracking.
Yeah, I don't.
By the way, next time you talk to Turner, where do I get a shirt like this?
Oh
where he has got it,
tucks it in, right?
Yeah, but
tucks it in, and he's got the gold.
He's whatever the shirt's underneath. That's a low V-neck. But then he's found a uniform that's also a low V-neck cut.
I think he just unbuttons. I don't know what it is, but
he does something different to the jersey. I mean, he's really letting it all out there. Yeah. He's a lot of meat salad out there. I love
it. Like it. All right, so we got first base.
Okay, second base.
You need someone.
Okay. Yep. Let me ask you. Okay,
boy, shortstop.
I'm going to get to that in a second. Hold on, just because don't answer the shortstop. Third base. Yes.
Yeah.
Got anything? Okay. Yeah. Left field, we're good.
Well, let's assume that Randy's coming back, right?
Yeah, Randy's coming back.
Okay, let's assume he's coming back, so the outfield's set. Julio Robles, we're set.
Yep. So outfield set. Third base, shortstop. That's a heavy sigh.
I know. I love JP. And he's under contract, but and maybe it was just an off year, Puck.
Or last year was just a one-off.
Yeah, right. But I think you can live with that in a good lineup. What he's been doing the last 2 months since he came back from injury, hitting 8th or 9th. I think you can live with that. Okay. The defense is still good. Still leader guy. I think you can live with that hitting 8th or 9th. I mean, he's never going to lead off again. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with JP.
How is his leadership? Because Divish and I were talking about it, and he had mentioned that one thing that he thinks is missing this year was that veteran leadership in the clubhouse, and that Cal could be the guy, but he's like Cal's doing everything else though. But he's like he's hitting, he's having a great season, he's working on the pitchers, like he can't do it all. And then I thought about that. I'm like, well, what about the shortstop? Why isn't he more vocal? Like here's the thing about JP, and I like JP. He hardly ever talks. You don't really see him do many interviews. I don't know when they're in a tailspin, and maybe he can't, Brad, because he's in a tailspin,
right?
So he can't talk. But I don't know, and I'm maybe speaking out of turn here because I'm not in the clubhouse. I'm not covering the team. But when they've been going through this, I just haven't heard much from him, and I'm just wondering is how much is there a leadership? And again, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So again, I could be way off on that.
Yeah, and myself as well in that boat. No, I think he is. I think that's a good point you make when you're not going well and you're trying to hit 200.
Yeah,
you're not really going to call other guys out. But I think. No, I
think. Hey, Robles, what the hell are you doing over there?
What are you stealing home for, man?
You're hitting 130.
You had 0 home runs in 2 months.
Yeah.
But I think just him, the daily work and the daily presence, I think it's there. I think he it was tough for him to see Ty France go. Those guys were really tight. Seager go a couple years ago. That was tough. He's not maybe the most vocal guy, but as far as being, a guy who puts in the work, shows up every day and kind of leads by example type guy, I guess he'd fall into that category as opposed to a vocal guy. I guess they don't really have a big vocal presence.
Well, they don't because he doesn't talk.
Right. Cal does a little.
Julio doesn't.
Julio does. And the 2 Mitches would be your veteran guys. And I think they help out in the clubhouse, but they're not addressing.
Can't do anything.
Because they can't. They're not playing a whole lot. That's.
Yeah, not pitching, not producing.
Yeah. And the pitchers don't do much. Yeah. Maybe there's not a vocal. I'm trying to think of.
I mean, I think his example, at least was, the Carlos Santanas of the world, Suarez. I mean, some of these guys. Yeah. A little bit more of a veteran presence in that clubhouse probably is a good thing and a wise thing for these guys.
Well, and I think Justin Turner has really helped that roll down the stretch. I mean, he is really talked to a lot of the guys about this process postseason and about hitting an approach. I watch him at the cage when he talks to Edgar, and then he'll sit on a bucket and just talk to everybody who comes by him. Like he was talking to Cal about showing him something about how to load your hips or do something. I don't know what it was, but it's interesting to have Turner talk to everybody in addition to Edgar talk to everybody. He's one of those guys where it's like, dude, I'm like, the oldest, position player here. I've been to the World Series. I've done everything, right? He's been DFA'd. He's been traded. He's been released. He's been everything. So
they should soak
this is
him
what
up.
I've learned. Exactly. And I think he's done a good job of that. And you watch his at bats and it's just nice, bases loaded the other day. Full count. What does he do? He hits one to center field, sac fly. Yesterday, he had bases loaded. He's hunting an inside pitch. He gets that from Yusei, who, by the way, Yusei looks like a whole different pitcher. But anyway, double down the line and left. They win the game. It's just little things. And I think he's helped out the team. With the whole the second voice there for Edgar and Dan, maybe the third voice, but saying, this is how your approach needs to be. Like you can take a couple chances, first, second strike, right? You can try to do some damage, but now we got to really work the count. We got to really put the ball in play. We got to do something, up the middle or right side, advance a runner. You got to do little things, sacrifice fly, sacrifice bunts, it just looked a lot better. And I think he's a big part of that. So that's why if you bring him back next year, certainly not to start and play every game, but just to have that voice again, in addition to him, because I think he can still be productive. He's not a home run guy anymore, which is fine, but he gives you good at bats, man.
We got an update. The Rays have added another run across the board.
So what do we got?
The 5th inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th in Motown, and the Rays lead the Tigers 3-0. Royals and Nationals headed to the 6th, tied at 4. Who's winning? The Cubs. Or the Bears. Right?
Is that Harry Carey there?
It's remember from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the principal's running around, and he's at the baseball. He's watching the game, and hey, what's the score? And it's the Cubs game's on. He's like 0-0, and he's like, he's such an idiot. Like, who's winning? And the guy looks, he's like, the Bears.
It's funny. My youngest is a sophomore, and she had a class. I forget which class it was. I think it was marketing, and teacher said, who's seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Like, I don't know how it even came up. And she was the only one, Puck.
Come on. She's seen it?
She's seen it. Yeah.
Good for her. I'm trying to get when I get my daughter.
I watched it. I said, hey, we're going to watch this comedy. A lot of them don't translate. Like, if I watch them again with the girls, I'm like, I thought this was funnier. Or, and they don't like it. But I'm like, but that one
still hits?
That one hits. Yeah, that one hits. Uncle Buck. That one hit.
We've seen that. Uncle Buck.
Right. I mean, come on.
When do you go breakfast? Have you done Breakfast Club yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that
You've
one.
already done it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. The girls did all that. The 16 Candles.
Oh, yeah.
The Breakfast Club.
They have a crush on Jake?
What's the other one? Of course.
Who doesn't have Jake? I mean, the thing about Jake.
And he never acted again?
That actor.
That was it? No, that was it. I think that was it.
That's a one and done.
How about that?
And that's when I fell in love with that Porsche. That's the Porsche. That's the one I want when you have the midlife crisis.
Right.
That's
It's coming. It's coming, right?
Oh,
crisis?
It's right around the corner. It is right around the corner, my friend. Hey, did you see video of
Pretty?
hold on.
Pretty in Pink. That's the other one.
Pretty Pink's a great one. Did you see the video of Katie Griggs taking a
what do they call that? The Homer
the Homer hydration station.
Yeah.
She looks like she's never done that before in her life. Yeah, good for her.
Oh my God. She puked like 3 seconds later. Yeah. But good for her, right? Good for her. Yeah.
Oh, nothing like beer bong. Good for you, Katie.
God, those were the days, weren't they?
We should hire her.
Well, wait a minute. Have you ever tried you ever beer bong like a wine cooler?
Oh, I went to college for 6 years.
Yeah.
Brad, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, beer fine, but wine coolers, those were tough, man.
Yeah,
Those were
Mad Dog one time.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Maybe a Thunderbird. Just things that aren't good for you, Brad.
No.
And
it's like, do we want our kids to do that? It's like, we did it, but I don't really want my daughter. Like, no, I don't. Dad, did you?
What do you think your daughter's doing right now at Tucson, my friend? I know you don't want to think about it.
I think she's doing okay. I think. I mean, I know she's dabbled in a few drinks. Like the twisted tea is pretty popular.
That's a big one. Yeah,
that's a big one. It's so hot there. They're always in these summer drinks. There's 103 there yesterday.
This is how much I hate that stupid drink. We were at the Apple Cup, and there was a woman sitting next to us, and she's like, "Hey, somebody was sitting here, and they bought me a drink, but I don't want it. Or I bought them a drink, but then they moved. It was like those 24-ounce twisted teas. Like, do you want it?" I go, "Yeah, no." I go, I'm not a freshman in high school. I'm good.
Yeah, that's the popular one, I guess. They're on campus, but yeah, I know she does that, and I mean, she'll learn.
Take it easy. All right, you think they'll? So what do you? You think? Last thing before we let you go, they go into Sunday. Are they eliminated or still have a shot?
Is this the ever optimistic corporate Brad?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, it'd be a small miracle. I think they could easily sweep the A's. I think having Detroit plays Chicago, they're going to set the all-time record. For them not to win a game among their four, that's a big ask. But hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it, Puck. Corporate. They lose 3 straight, and the Mariners win their next 2. And Sunday, for all the marbles, baby. It's going to be an hour pregame. We're going to get excited. Hour post. Every pitch is going to. We're on the edge of our seats.
$5 beers,
watching.
Hall of Fame. Can't wait.
Come on,
throwing peanuts at you.
Please do.
Hey, good luck.
That's my hope.
Have fun playing golf today. Nice clubs in the back.
Actually, no golf today.
Well, okay.
I know I got stuff to do, and then I got a soccer game. I'm like, come on, man.
Okay, well, hey, don't get injured.
No, I'm not playing. I got to watch it. Kidding me?
You're the best, sir.
Hey, we're talking next week, right? We're still doing this
next week. Yeah, we'll talk. Regardless of what happens, we'll talk next.
Maybe I'll be in Houston. We'll talk from the first round of the playoffs, my friend.
I hope you are.
That'd be awesome.
All right, we'll see you.
Thanks, Buck.
There he is, Brad Adam. Root Sports, all brought to you by John Howie Steak. Entertain your next clients, family and friends at John Howie Steak. Have the best dining experience in the city, johnhowiesteak.com. If you just joined that late, all of these appearances with Brad and all of our guests will be available up on YouTube and then listening apps, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts, and, of course, up at PuckSports.com. Let's get to Hey, What the Puck? As we wrap up the show today, Hey, What the Puck is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle, your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. They are the best in the business, locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when damages affect your residential or commercial property, 206-817-8917, or visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Getting back to the Mariners on this for Hey, What the Puck, I would say fan the way you want to fan. Because what I mean by this is, let's say they do get eliminated today. All right. And at 1 o'clock, you find out the Royals and Tigers have won. If people want to go attend the game tomorrow, you've got tickets, then go be a fan and go watch baseball. No one's going to hold it against you. You can still go watch the game, be a fan of baseball, be a fan of the team, but be upset and angry what ownership and management has done this season. You have every right to be angry with what they have done because they have treated you poorly. They have not lived up to the expectations that they set forth this season to live up to. They have not lived up to those expectations. They have failed you, the fan, and the consumer miserably this season. No one, they can't even dispute that because that is the truth. They have failed you, the consumer, me, the consumer. But if you still want to go because you just can't give up that hope of baseball and to watching baseball, I get it. If you are on the other side of it, where if they get eliminated and you're just like, you know what, I can't take it anymore. And the only way that maybe that they will get it through their heads that they can't treat us anymore like this is I'm not going to go. I'm not going to attend the game. I'm going to voice my displeasure outside of the stadium. Then do that as well. And that doesn't make you a bad fan. If like they get eliminated today and there's a couple of hundred people and they're outside, which I think would be great to picket the team and to strike the team. I think that would be cool and be great. And just maybe it would finally wake them up to the reality of how most of their fan base feels about them. Now, before people say, well, this is what happened with the Sonics and this is by the left, that is a load of absolute crap. That's not what happened. That's just zero what happened with the Sonics. The fans did not give up on the team, and then thus it made it easier for the team to be moved. That's a lie. That's a false narrative. Howard Schultz sold the team to a guy who from day one was going to move them. Howard Schultz is to blame. That's it. You blame him. He's number one person to blame. Don't blame anybody. Blame the NBA, blame David Stern, blame politics, blame. There is one person in this city to blame for why they're no longer here, and that's Howard Schultz. All right. They got at least through, God, it's in the late 2040. They're not going anywhere. But if they were to get eliminated today, and if there's people out there picketing the team, just in right next to the Jesus guy yelling, how about we drowned out Jesus guy Friday or Saturday with a picketing the team? That would be more enjoyable than listening to that guy talk about everyone sinning and going to hell every single home game. But if you were to do that, and that doesn't make you a bad fan. It just doesn't. Because you can come back next season and be all in. So I would say fan the way you want to fan. Regardless of what happens here today and then the next few days. All right, that's it for us. Hey, What the Puck? Brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com. North Seattle franchise. In case you missed any of today's show, it will be up on YouTube later. Also, Apple, Spotify, all your podcast platforms, PuckSports.com. If you haven't downloaded the PuckSports mobile app, please do it today. You can listen on your phone live now, driving around in your car. We still are working out some of the glitches. Glitch number one was it was limiting people, how many people could listen. We fixed that. Jacob has fixed that. The other one was you can listen to it on your phone, but if you leave the app to go look at your email or Twitter or something, then it shuts down. The live stream shuts down. It doesn't do that for the recorded interviews or the podcast interviews, but it does it for the live stream. We are in the process of fixing that. So that should be fixed fairly shortly. Thank you for all of you who have reached out. And if there are any concerns with the show, the app, audio, levels, all of it, I love hearing feedback. Puck at PuckSports.com, best way to send it. Emails up on the website there as well. Also, voicemails are up on the website if we want to try and play a few coming up tomorrow when Jim returns. If you're playing Puck the Pick or the Pick'em Pool, make sure you get your picks in tonight before Thursday night football. What else do we got to promote? Oh, no one's doing it better than us in terms of college football. No one in this town covering both teams better than us. All right, we got our Puck the Huskies podcast with Elise Woodward and Jordan Ruffett. That is up. Go listen to it. Great breakdown from both of these guys, these diehard Husky fans. I don't do anything on this episode. I get out of the way. It's them. I just kind of moderate a little bit and then make fun of them, and then we get out and we make fun of each other. But great insight from both Jordan and Elise on just where they're at right now, the play of Will Rogers, where Jonah Coleman is. Jed Fish is a play caller, needs to feed him a little bit more. And that's their opinion. So not mine. That's their opinion. And so go give that a listen and go give that a watch. Also, our Cougar content is up as well. Cougs Corner it was an awesome sit down with Ben Arbuckle, the OC of Wazoo. He answered the why were they throwing it in the overtime when all they needed was a field goal. He talks about Johnny Football, Johnny Mateer, and why he got into coaching, which is a pretty cool story if you don't know it. And then our Old Crimson podcast with myself, Paul Sorensen, and Jimmy Moore, and Jamie Vinegar, Coug fan, who stops on by to give us a practice report. That was titled the FU episode because that's all we did. It was just we swore at each other for about 20 minutes of the 45 minutes, which was nice. I think it's a real nice show that shows everyone how much we love each other. So go give that a listen. Coming up tomorrow, Friday edition, Jim will be back. Also, we've got Chris Egan will be stopping on by, and then our handicapper, Troy Wins from TroyWins.com. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you later. Again, everything will be up a little bit later after 1 o'clock on all the platforms, so give it a listen. Give it a follow, too. Please, just because we're doing it live, please follow and subscribe to all those platforms as well. Pass it along. Please follow and subscribe on YouTube. Same deal for Apple and Spotify there as well. We'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, we promise to be better.
Shirt, no shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!